So I know that this video has a very similar title to what Yankee Perspective did a video on just a couple days ago, and I understand that, but I want to give him a shout out because he goes more in detail about other things. I want to focus solely on why Republicans need to embrace a convention-style system instead of primaries. So again, if you want to see the full thing, go watch Yankee Perspective's video. It'll be in the link description down below. It's a phenomenal video, but I want to discuss more about why we need to have a convention-style system instead of primaries. And we're going to explain what that actually is, because some people kind of don't understand what it is. Now, before we continue with today's video, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the Twitter account in the description down below, and join the channel today. That is right, folks, for just 10 cents a day, you can join Real American Politics, only 10 cents a day. That's a phenomenal deal to help support the daily content. We all love that daily content, so I hope you join today. All right, let's get into it, everybody. So let's discuss the convention system I'm talking about. So if you don't know, Virginia has a unique convention system in some districts. Again, some places they have regular primary, but some districts, and in fact, for the governor's election, there is a convention system. Now, you scroll down here, and this is kind of how it goes. You notice this seems very similar to ranked choice voting. It kind of is. But in the perspective of, okay, this is a primary, and this isn't your traditional ranked choice voting. Yes, people rank their options, kind of, but the convention system is actual members of the party. You know, people that actually vote a Republican, that are actual Republicans, they decide who the nominee is. And, well, the point is, it does a pretty good job at that. I mean, if it wasn't for the convention system, which again, it's Republican voters, like ones that voted in Republican primaries or in past elections, etc., they are actual Republican voters. They decide. That's how we got Glenn Youngkin. For those that don't know, if it wasn't for this system, we would have gotten Amanda Chase as the nominee instead. And let's just say she may have done as good as Trump did in Virginia, aka a 9 to 10 point loss. Now, the ranked choice voting in a general election is stupid, but for a caucus or a primary or convention system like this, I think it's reasonable. Because in my opinion, if you do not have the support, a majority support of your own party, you do not have the right to be on the ballot for that party. That's my opinion. That's why it's a bit different than general election, where I think it's pointless. But either way, in a primary, you should have majority of the base if you want to be the nominee. And well, this convention system has done wonders in the past. 2020. Look at this. Everybody knows Denver Riggleman, one of the worst Republicans in the Virginia House delegation a couple years ago. And he was endorsed by Trump. People like Jim Jordan, Andy Biggs. I don't know why they supported this guy. If you don't know what he did, just go look it up. It's a clown show. He's kind of a pro. How do I say this nicely? I'm not going to say it because I may get canceled. But either way, Denver Riggleman is trash. He was off on the issues. And if this was a regular primary, he would have lost. He would have absolutely lost this race. Or won, I should say. But Bob Good won because of the convention system. Voters that actually know who the candidates are and who's the best option. I mean, look at this. Even with Trump's endorsement, Riggleman got crushed in the convention. And if this was a primary, he would have survived. Thank goodness for Bob Good in the convention system. We went from one of the worst Republicans in the House to one of the best. That's a phenomenal upgrade. And this is my point. The convention system is, I would say, in the Virginia style in particular, perfect at finding the best candidate. The governor's race, Glenn Youngkin was absolutely the best choice. If this was a regular primary, Amanda Chase would have been the nominee. 2020, Bob Good won because of the convention. 2022 in Virginia 10th. Hun Kao, one of the biggest recruits, best recruits of this cycle, nearly beat Jennifer Wexton in a fairly Democrat seat. He nearly did it. If he would have got funding, he probably would have. This was a Biden plus 25 seat or something like that. He came within 7. Yet, once again, if this was a regular primary, Hun Kao would have never won. He won because of the Firehouse primary, which is just a convention system, a different term for it. Basically the same thing, all right? Just slightly different names. But that is not all. There is other examples of prove my point in other states. Now, there's not really many other states that have this system. The closest is in Utah, and this is the best example, 2018. You know Mitt Romney, he won the primary. Look, he won it by 40 odd points, or I should say 30 points or something like that. 40, whatever. You get the point. He won in the landslide over State Representative Mike Kennedy. But, scroll up here, and Utah does have a convention system, but it's a bit different. I think you need 2/3 to get the nominee, which I think is stupid. But if you want to be on the ballot, you have to be in the final 2 candidates. And look at this. Mike Kennedy won the Republican convention. If this were the Virginia-style system, Mitt Romney would have never become senator of the state of Utah. Mike Kennedy, I've heard he's just generic Republican, but I would rather have him than Mitt Romney. Think about this, everybody. Mitt Romney won in a landslide in a regular primary, but he lost in a state convention. These voters, or people that go to these state conventions, they know what they're doing. They absolutely understand who the candidates are, who's the best option, etc. They actually know the candidates fairly well, and that is why we need to adopt a state convention system nationally. Now, some other states have a system like Minnesota, but that's just a stupid shit show. Just do what Virginia does, which is multiple rounds, which again, I understand that's ranked choice voting bad. You said that. Yes, ranked choice voting for non-primaries, caucuses, whatever, is pointless in my opinion. But for you to be the nominee of a party, you should have a majority of the base. So yeah, we need to adopt a primary system. And best example, look at this. Amanda Chase, she would have won in the primary, but because they did a convention system, Youngkin won because of it. So we need to embrace a state convention system everywhere. And I understand people are going to say, oh, Blumf would have been the nominee then. We never know. We will never know if that's the case. Guys, we will never know if Trump would have been the nominee in this system. I agree with that. But look at its track record. It's basically had no major L's. I'm not talking about Michigan or Minnesota's system. I'm talking about Virginia's system. It has a flawless record. Gets us massive upgrades. Would have prevented crap candidates from being the nominee. It has. And if we had in other states, we wouldn't have had these awful primaries where it caused so much division within the party that we lost many of these races because of it. So we need to adopt state convention systems. Again, before I end today's video, I recommend you watch Yankee Perspective's video on how Republicans can win. It goes over other things we have to do as a party. It's not just state convention systems. He goes more in detail. So I recommend you watch that video sooner than later. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. Godspeed to all of you.